Thank you, Mr. Speaker Pro Tem. The joys of when the calendar has some hiccups in it, we're all running around. Want to do a couple things, and what I'm going to sort of walk through is what we're seeing in the numbers. There is a sense of theater around here that I'm trying to break through. So let's see if we can have some fun with some math. For those who were complaining about the caps, the spending reductions, and the recent debt ceiling, for those that wanted more over here, for some of our brothers and sisters around this place that didn't think any of it was necessary, I need to break through and help this place get its head around the fact that we actually were allowed to negotiate on 11% of the spending. Remember, your government is functionally an insurance company with an army. The vast, vast majority of our spending is on autopilot. It's earned benefits. You earned your Medicare, you earned your Social Security, you max out your work your 40 quarters, veterans benefits. You get certain things if you fall under a certain income, that's called Medicaid. You get certain things because of treaty agreements, tribal populations. But those are in formula. We don't vote for them. Matter of fact, it's almost radioactive around here if we tell the truth that it's the vast, vast, vast majority of spending. So I'm going to do some of this backwards. A week ago Friday, two of the lead economists at Bloomberg, they call it Bloomberg Intelligence. You have to sort of go to the Bloomberg terminal to get this, but I subscribe to a couple things where I got the top line. And have you ever started to read something and you go, oh my God, what are they talking about? That number can't be real. And then you bother someone who has an actual Bloomberg terminal and they pull the full printout on it. Here's the reality. And I don't know how to get the folks to actually understand the math. The Bloomberg Intelligence, the two economists said their model, because Bloomberg has this fairly fancy model, just like we do at Joint Tax, at CBO, the Tax Foundation, everyone has their models. Theirs is fairly impressive. Their model said in 10 years we're at 130% of debt to GDP. Now understand, the cuts we just did, the rebalancing, the flattening, the slowing down, the debt growth that we just fought through in the debt ceiling, we sort of took ourselves from 119% of the size of the economy at the end of the decade or 10 years from now to around 114. And that's a big deal. You figure 10 years from now you have a $39 trillion economy, a percent, that's real money. So we pulled it down from 119 to 114. Yay! Matter of fact, I think I have a board on it. And then to read through the analytics from these economists saying, here's your problem. Interest is dramatically higher than we've been modeling. They see inflation and therefore interest running longer. They also see healthcare costs growing faster and larger. And if you actually think about the reading you've done this last week, because I know all of us around here read the technical aspects and, whether it... Sorry, I was going to get sarcastic. I'm trying to dial that back. You start to see we're seeing this huge, very substantial spike in Medicare spending. Turns out a lot of our seniors actually had postponed lots and lots and lots of procedures. You just saw one of the major health companies that caters to Part D, their stock just cratered yesterday because of utilization. Then they had some other interesting things in there. So interest is up. Healthcare costs are up fairly dramatically. And then the thing I've tried to explain here, no one gets their head around. Before the agreement, and I'm going to use rough numbers, the non-defense discretionary spending is $700 billion. Okay? We functionally just removed $100 billion. So now it's $600 billion. Just that reduction of that $100 billion over those 10 years, they actually calculated that next year the GDP growth will be down a whole 0.5%. That's huge.